Going reality. I couldn't get past the question, what is wrong with me and right with him? It felt like a glitch in the matrix. I was never aware of his special training, but as good as he was still obsessed with mastering the craft of presenting rather than relying on natural abilities or winging it. His relentless rehearsals pre-pitch and brutal feedback sessions post-pitch were legendary. My observations and endless notes about how he seemed to do, with ease and grace, something I couldn't figure out myself, were the first seeds that grew into this book. The second catalyst also came from my time in New York at this job. I already knew from my direct boss that great pitching could sell ideas to clients, and that I needed to get better at it to avoid career limitations and personal embarrassment. Still, I hadn't yet realized the broader power it could have on human behavior and success. This lesson came after I heard the abrupt news that my ultimate boss and mentor at BBDO New York, Phil Dusenbury, was leaving the business. I still remember the all-staff email in March 2002 like it was yesterday. I can't communicate how much he meant to me and what a big deal his departure was. Phil was irreplaceable to me. Along with fashion designer Diane von Furstenberg, he dragged me into the industry. He believed in me and gave me my shot. He even gifted me his high-powered immigration lawyer to help secure a working visa, which in those days was incredibly hard to come by. We were called to an uptown venue on the day of Phil's departure to hear from Phil, but mainly to meet his replacement, who was flying in from London for the occasion. As I walked up 6th Avenue on that cold, crisp morning with a bunch of my colleagues, I recall all of us being distinctly somber. Many people in the company shared my sentiment about this transitional moment for the agency. We were not feeling receptive to the guy stepping in. He was about to address a tough crowd. Like good corporate citizens, we turned up and shuffled into the large auditorium. There were over 1,500 people jammed in, and it was standing room only. We all milled around waiting, muttering grumpily, until eventually the room fell quiet. Phil said a few humble and, as always, enlightened words, and then stepped back to welcome his replacement to the stage. He spoke to us for at most 8 minutes. In that short time, he converted everyone, from a doubter to a believer, from an adversary to a loyal teammate, in 8 minutes. It blew me away. I couldn't fathom the power of one great speech. It was transformational. He had us all joining him as allies on this new journey for him and BBDO. It was right there at that moment that I realized I was on a burning platform. I had to fix this now and make public speaking a part of my life. I needed to overcome this self-imposed limitation where I'd told myself that I couldn't public speak and didn't need to public speak to get ahead in life. I would become someone who could turn up and present effectively. I immediately threw myself at the problem and madly researched the world's best courses and best presenters. I was flush with great options. Over the next few years, I attended courses in New York, LA, Toronto, London, and Sydney. I even expanded to vocal classes, opera singing classes, acting coaching, NLP training, and the communications course at the Church of Scientology. That was an eye-opener. Whilst I learned much theory and got a broader understanding of the subject matter, I needed tangible things to put into practice. Feeling underwhelmed, I collected what I liked from all those courses and started my curation journey. I watched hours and hours of public speakers I loved. Some were my original bosses at BBDO, from Grammy winners to cult gurus, business mavericks, charismatic street performers, and iconic world leaders. I wrote down all the practical tips I could find, observe, and extract. I then started practicing them myself. By this stage in my career, I was pitching to clients semi-regularly, and it was a fantastic testing ground. At first, I practiced with my colleagues, and as I became more senior, I trained my teams with the tools I was gathering. I eventually started working with clients, organizations, and leaders in the public eye. All types of people from all walks of life. These learnings evolved into what has today become my Winning the Room course and methodology. I no longer work purely in advertising, and I'm not a full-time